gearing up for a pretty simple shoot today. We're leaving Big Bertha at home, and we're doing an interview. There's gonna be teleprompter. I'm not providing the A camera, but I am providing the lenses. So we've got a 21, 35, and 50 DZO PL lenses. We're gonna be shooting on a red Komodo. So Clint is the guy I'm shooting with, awesome guy. I like him a lot. And he asked if I had any PL lenses, and so I do. So that'll make things a little bit easier. I'm bringing some backup audio just in case we need it. Sony UWPs. We already have audio, but I just thought I'd bring it just in case. And then also got some indies. And then I'm bringing the 600D and some diffusion. And I'm also bringing this new light from June. It's a 100-watt tube light. I haven't been able to show it yet, but now I can. I've been playing around with it, and I really like it so far. But it's a 100-watt tube light, and it's just kind of handy to have. Battery powered, but you can also plug it in, and it'll last a good long while. So I'm just gonna bring that just in case we want a hair light or something like that. It's so small, I might as well bring it. But yeah, that's the setup. Perfect. We're all loaded up. Thanks for helping me pack today. Erica swung by today to nerd out with gear with me. And she's got a really cool rig here. And we're also testing out the Fujinons. Curious how Super35 will do on the FX6.
With like the clear view.
Yeah.
Going from the vignetting to...
You don't have to do too much clear image zoom, we're finding out.
Like 1.3. It depends, because the vignette changes as you zoom. Yeah. So on the wider ones, you have to go in a little bit more, but yeah.
So this is a pretty cool rig for the monitor. You got a Noga here.
Noga arm, yeah.
Which you can adapt to a lot of different, like if you're shooting high or shooting low, you can quickly adapt.
Yeah, I use it a lot with the easy rig, because then I don't have to worry about adjusting it by itself, because then I can like do overhand shots where I'm like a little hard without an easy rig, but I can do stuff like this where I'm able to see, or I like doing a lot of different types of angles in my shots, so having the flexibility of this arm is nice. Then I can do like low angle stuff, things like this, so we're reaching sometimes, if I'm doing car shots, like in the car where it's like I'm shooting the driver, then I'll need to have my camera like this, and then I can move the monitor around so I'm like looking at it like this. So,
that is nice.
So it's and then I can do stuff like this. So
that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it gives me a lot of flexibility for kind of a lot of random dock situations, which I find myself in often. So. And
then also kind of cool, you've got a little transmitter setup right here.
Yeah, I don't have it on here now, but I use like an Axune CineView. A lot of times it just goes directly to a monitor, like an iPad, for directors, for like small budget, just for monitoring purposes, not like pulling focus or anything, but it's more convenient to have an iPad. I can give a director or producer versus a V-mount monitor setup that you need to worry about batteries, and it's just a lot heavier, and also more, the iPad is more discreet if I'm shooting somewhere, or, if I'm going on a boat, like having all, the less I need to bring, the better it is.
Totally.
So, and I like having it on the side here, like it just mounts up here, so that way I have my top handle. I really like having the top handle free just because I use it a lot, so that way, like if I have my monitor up here, the mount for this would be up here, and then my top handle is free to use, either to connect my easy rig or just to use and stuff like that. So I try to keep everything compact in that way.
That's nice. And then show us the base plate too. That's pretty cool.
Oh, the
dovetail.
Yeah. So this is the cheaper Tilta dovetail solution instead of the Ari, just because I had the Tilta cage already. So I have it set up. Normally, a lot of people set it up this way on the tripod, and then you would, slide the camera in from the back. But I don't know, I was on a set a few years ago, and there was a DP that had it forwards because he liked being able to control the camera from the front, and I found it like more convenient. So I just have it here, so that way, if I need to take it off the sticks, to run and gun, I have a little bit of a flatter bottom. It doesn't like poke into my body as much, and then That way I can, you know, connect it on here.
It's cool. And you can pretty much balance for any lens with that, I bet.
Yeah, so if you're doing it on sticks, then you can, you know, balance to any lens, and then
Here we go.
yeah, so that way you can, like, you know, if you have a big lens like this, I'd probably put this at the back of there, right, so it's balanced, so that way I can, like, balance my fluid head if I need to get shots to make sure, you know, it can hold its weight, or if it's a lighter lens, I can move forward here. So it's pretty convenient and nice to have.
That's really cool.
If you really need to get fluid shots, then you want to balance your tripod head, and, you know, you can only do so much rotation with the base plate, so then having a dovetail allows you to, like, really make sure your pan head, you know, for the expensive Sackler tripods we have, that you're, you know, getting the best balance out of them. So
Totally. It's a really cool setup. Now, I know this is not you don't do the same setup for every shoot, but this is kind of like your go-to for most scenarios.
Yeah, I feel like I will usually, like, I'll have this kind of probably built out. Like, I'll have this sort of setup kind of. It'll go in my bag and, like, ready to go, you know?
Yeah.
Obviously not exactly this lens, but, you know, something like this is, like, where I probably have my camera, like, its default state, and then, like, sometimes I have to strip everything off if I'm, you know, shooting on the tilt-a-ring DJI gimbal setup, and, like, then I want everything off, so it's, like, no weight on there as much as possible, so it just depends. But yeah, this is pretty much kind of the state it's usually in, and then I modify it from there.
Super cool. I love it.
You see, so I'll record a shot without the clear view, and then we'll see the vignetting on it. And then I'll get a shot with the clear view punched in, and then I'll calculate what that focal length is, and then I'll move I'll set the focal length to that camera and try to, like, move it in to, like, get the same position, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
so that we can try to compare it.
And next up, we're trying the FX9. All right, looking at the footage in the editor, results are pretty interesting. I'll make it full screen. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first 4 ones are FX6. So this is with just vignetting. This is just a normal 4K image. And then this is cropped in. This is like 1.2?
Yeah, 1.2 on the clear image zoom.
So these two side by side look really similar. And you didn't even...
something where it's like, you know, if it was in certain shots together, you know, I wouldn't pick this up unless you asked me to really look.
And even then, it's kind of hard, I feel like.
Yeah, because I was just doing some math, because if we have the 18 to 55 crop sensor, so if you move that in to the FX6, so it's the 18 times, like, a 1.3 crop. I think this is 1.2, but say it's 1.3. So then you get, like, 23.4 to 71.5. So it's almost like a 24-70 lens on the FX6, but it's a lot cheaper than, like, I know there's the Laowa Rangers I've seen.
Yeah.
But most full frame zoom cine lenses are like 28 to 70 or 28 to 75. So, but having an extra 4 millimeters on the wide angle lens is, like, way more useful than the you know,
so
long end. So, you know, having a 24 to 70 equivalent on the FX6 for, like, you know, much cheaper than the full frames and lighter seems like a pretty good. It'd be interesting to do, like, a shoot, maybe more of like a test shoot or something, or maybe even on the dock project that you're thinking about, like, maybe if we tried, you know, with our cameras, like, using both of them, and, like, it did the clear, like, that'd be a cool way to
we should really try that.
Put it to the test, right?
Like, in the actual environment.
Yeah.
And then FX9 versus FX9, here's some FX9 shots. This is in just 6K full frame sensor. This is the 4K sensor. Lovely. We zoomed them in and we couldn't even tell a difference when you zoom in the 6K.
Because the 4K just crops, it automatically squeezes down the 6K, so if anything, it'd either give you a little bit more resolution or, like, pretty much the same. So
that makes sense. And then FX9 versus FX6, very close. I think I have to spend a little more time on this to find the real difference in colors. But it kind of looks like if you just white balance them.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of have the overcast sky, which, like, kind of has subtle changes, so not very scientific, but I mean...
But not too different, you know? Like a pretty good close starting point.
Yeah.
So
it seems like maybe a tiny bit greener blue, but, like... You know, or FX6, you know, obviously it's, like, the inverse relationship, so... It's something where, again, if you white balanced it and, like, did that, it's pretty easy to do, so...
Cool. I like it. Thanks for testing this with me today, Erica.
Cool, yeah. It's cool to try it out.
Check out this recent shot Erica got. I love that. I really like when you can see an environment like that and it's not too blurred out. Like that, the type is.
We had the type, but in the edit, the director, we kind of talked about the type of. We really wanted these spaces with the dancers to like really show the wides of where they were. It's tricky because of all the reflections. We had to make sure, like when we lit stuff, that we didn't have any reflections in the back, like and, you know, because there's mirrors everywhere in the dance studio for some reason.
Yeah.
You have to watch themselves dance, obviously, so it makes our lives harder. But you know, it's like important to like show, you know, wide angle stuff. And I'll share. I'll send you the.
I love that.
Yeah, there's like a screening for that doc. It was like it was like 18 minutes. I think it's almost finished, but I'll send you the trailer for the dance doc that I worked on. So.
Sweet, I love it. It would have been nice to test the FX6 and FX9 color matching a little bit more in a few different environments, but I think we'll get the chance later in the future. I just am on a time crunch. I've got a shoot to go to, and Erica also has a shoot she's going to too. So, anyways, Erica's great. Check out Erica's work if you haven't yet.
I love this setup.
Shooting with Clint today.
What's up, guys? How's it going? Is that everything?
I think so. Clint and I met a few months back at the filmmakers meetup that David Moorfield hosted here in San Francisco. Maybe we should do another one. Coincidentally, there was actually another shoot going on in the same building, which is kind of funny, just a room over. And I actually knew 3 of the guys who were in the room. So shout out to Edwin, Pedro, and Rolando. This is the room we're working with. We are doing a teleprompter shoot. So that's one of the first things we want to set up. And then one of the second things is we want to kill that overhead light because it is ugly fugly. This wall was looking kind of bland, so it felt perfect to throw that tube light down there and give it kind of an orange look. I tried some different colors, but orange just looked most natural and not too distracting. We used the sandbag so the client knew where to stand. Then we kept playing with the background, moving the paintings around, and we found that pot, the classic pot. And finally, we were able to create the look we wanted. Look how nice that is. This is the red Komodo with my 50mm Vespid Prime T2 and just a standard Rec 709 conversion and just slight exposure adjustments. I love how nicely the Komodo handles skin tones. Like, my gosh, look at that. Clint wanted some contrast on his face, but not too much to be distracting. Also, he had a bald head and warned us that sometimes when people film him, it comes across as shiny. So we were able to avoid making that look shiny, and that makes me really happy. Also really happy with how well this June tube light worked. It has these barn doors that allowed me to control the spill of the light, and that was nice because I didn't really want any on him. I just wanted it on the wall. Battery was no problem. I was able to get the exact color that I wanted, and I'm happy with the image. While I was operating the camera, Clint was operating the teleprompter. So check it out. So Clint, the whole time he's talking, is manually moving the speed to match his pace.
Because people tend to have very different cadence in the way they talk. Some people read fast. It also helps pace them when they're reading, but it's honestly really very critical to like actually have a way to pace people rather than them just like trying to read it the best they can. It just makes it feel more natural.
Totally. That was the first go. Let's do the second.
Let's do it again.
Battery's looking pretty good on this. We have about 80% left. It's been at about 27% power for about an hour. So that's nice. I felt really happy that I owned a 600D today because when I first walked in this room, the lighting was so ugly and green, and it just was very nice to be able to shut that off and give it a nice neutral daylight color. Everyone was happy with the look. Clint nailed the teleprompter, and our client nailed both of his takes. So we packed up all our gear, reorganized the room, and put the plant back in the lobby. The room is back to normal. We're all packed up, ready to roll. This light was sent to me for free by June. They just asked me to use it in a video and show you guys it. Brand new, just came out. It's 100 watts. I think it's pretty cool. And this is my first shoot using it on. A few cool things just about it is I like these barn doors. I can take it off if I want. I can add this. I top of it, and it wraps over the barn doors and makes it a nice big softbox. It's 100 watts at 100% power. I timed it. It lasts me about 45 minutes, 50% power. The battery will last me about an hour and 40 minutes. And on this shoot, we had it over there for, we had it about 28%, and it lasted no problem. And there's a lot of battery left. Probably like 60-70% of the battery was left. It comes with a little case. So anyways, little shout out to June. I quite like this light. It's RGB, and it seems to be a nice price. I'll put a link to it in the description if you guys want to check that out. I'll keep testing it, and we'll see how it lasts, how it does with time. Anyways, so thank you, June. And I'm not getting a commission off of this. I just thought it was a cool light and would like to try it. So there is a discount code in my description, but I don't get a commission off of it. I got that for free, so that's kind of cool. All right, let's roll. Well, there we go. That was our first shoot together.
I know, finally.
Yeah, I enjoyed working with you, man.
You too, dude. Great
fun.
shoot today.
Client had a great attitude, was super prepared, just absolutely killed it on camera. That was kind of a tricky room to work with, but we made it work.
I think it looked great. I think we, like, considering it was a dark room, conference room, always challenging, no windows, but I think it looked awesome.
Yeah.
Tommy crushed it,
Yeah.
and everything was great.
Yeah, it's cool seeing you do the teleprompter setup too. So much nicer that you're like manually rolling with him.
Yeah, being able to like actually pace with people, because there's a lot of teleprompter apps and stuff, but like being able to actually pace with your client makes such a difference.
Yeah.
I feel like it killed off like half the time too being there.
That's a good point. Makes a lot of sense. Very cool stuff. You should check out Clint. He's really cool. I'll have a link to him in the description.
I'm pretty cool.
Yeah. That was awesome. Love working with Clint. Really good guy. Seriously, you should check out his Instagram. He's a great guy. And if you're in the area and you don't live too far from him, I would encourage you to reach out and grab a coffee with him too. He's great. Yeah, that was awesome. Also, if you're in the area and you'd like to connect with me, add me on Instagram and send me a message. Or if you'd like to work with me, send me a message through my website. All about connecting with new people. Absolutely love it. All right, have a great one. Bye.